So once you made a decision, I'm starting my own agency.
Yeah.
Were you scared at all?
No.
What kept you moving forward?
I was so excited to fail.
Dane Walker.
Pleasure, man.
This book really says everything about what you do.
Yeah.
Full stop.
It's all about branding.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this for many reasons. One, you are actually doing work for One Life Club. So anybody that is watching this, all the branding, it's your work.
Shout out to my team, yes.
Shout out to your team, 100%. And I like that you just say that, because a lot of people, they might look at, we were just speaking about Ronaldo, soccer player before. A lot of people might look and see Ronaldo and they think, Ronaldo is the only player in the team. But the reality is there's another 10 people in the team that make Ronaldo who he is today, teamwork. So welcome to One Life Club. I'm so excited about this because, like I said before, you're doing work with us, but personal branding is so crucial in the age that we are living today. It's exciting times ahead for anybody that really wants to build any kind of personal brand for the company or as a human, because we all have access to so much out there, from social media to everything really, that we can really stand out. Who is Dane?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who is Dane? Who is Dane that is doing all these great things for my company and many others? And you're one of the fastest growing, really, media companies in the country, if I can call it like that.
Yeah, fastest growing brand agency in Asia Pacific, as far as we can tell.
Yes.
Willing to be challenged on that title. But yeah, so my background is in sales, ironically. So
yes.
I was working for gyms, car dealerships, insurance companies, did a lot of sales-oriented stuff, but always kept coming back to design. Design is something that always got my interest,
yes.
and particularly how to use design to generate more sales. So yes. how to make design functional and yes. a utility for a business, not just a frivolous thing that makes something look pretty, but how do we intentionally use design to convert
yes.
customers into spending more money with the company.
And you used to work for many other companies.
Yeah.
A few years ago, you said, stuff that,
yeah.
I'm going to run my own race.
Yeah.
How big decision that was for yourself?
Yeah, so at the time I worked in partnership with Nathan James at World Gym.
Yes.
I was looking at actually going in and buying a club
yes.
and running my own facility. Decided that just wasn't for me. I wanted to do something more creative. I'd moved back from Rockhampton to the Sunshine Coast. I was just working at Telstra selling phones. I knew yes. that was temporary. I didn't want to stay there for very long.
But you did what you had to do to get yourself to the next stage.
Yeah, so a friend invited me to Gary Vee. So I went down to Brisbane to see Gary Vee.
That was about 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it?
This was in August 2019, I want to say. It could have been slightly earlier than that.
Yes, yes.
And I remember sitting there in the event for what felt like 8 hours, and speaker after speaker after speaker were coming out on stage, selling their boot camp, selling their packages.
I was there.
yeah, you know what's up, man.
I was there, man. I wasn't selling anything. No. I was just there watching, which was so freaking annoying because I was waiting entire day for Gary Vee, and there were so many other speakers trying to sell me
to sell crap.
Crap, literally.
Yeah, even people I admire. Like,
yes.
I'm not going to name names, but people I
yes.
admire were there. And I remember just looking around the room constantly, because there was about 5,500 yes. people in the
yes.
room. And people were not very engaged. They're coming in and out, buying coffee, maybe writing some notes. Some
yes.
people were interesting. But I remember I went out to get a coffee toward the end of the day before Gary came and spoke, and there was maybe 300-400 people in the foyer getting a coffee.
Yes.
And then like a stampede, everyone runs back into the venue. And I turn around and still waiting for my coffee. I'm like, where'd everyone go? And the music's pumping, Gary Vee's coming out. So grab my coffee and run back in. But I remember standing at the back of the room, looking over 5,000 people, and see Gary run out on stage.
Yes.
And all he had behind him was 1-800-GARY on the screen, no slideshow. And the first thing he said, you remember this, is...
And he had a little hoodie on.
Yeah, he had a hoodie on. He's like, what up, Brisbane? I'm not here to sell you shit.
Yes.
So he immediately dissed the other speakers.
Yes.
Won the entire crowd.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that shocked me, that rattled me how he came out and completely dissed the other speakers, disrespected them, said, I'm not here to sell you shit, had the crowd in the palm of his hand in like 3.2 seconds.
Yes, all of us.
All of us.
Yes.
I was engaged, people were on their seats, people were throwing their books, people were excited, people lined up at the side of the room to ask questions.
Yes.
I'd never seen such a shift in humans' energy, like a group of human energy.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it, but the energy shifted in that room like that.
Yes.
And I was hooked. I was like, how did he do that?
Yes.
How was he able to say a couple of words and own the entire space?
Yes.
Shift the entire dynamic of the room. Shared his story for 10 minutes and then did Q&A for 2 hours.
Yes.
And everyone was hanging on every word he said.
Yes.
That to me kind of sparked the interest of the power of human branding or personal branding. After that, on the drive home, I literally decided I'm going to start an agency. I had no idea what I was going to sell, no idea who I was going to sell it to. I was just like, I'm going to start an agency. I was so moved and so inspired by Gary. I just decided that that's what I wanted to do.
So if Gary ever knocks on your door and say, hey, buddy, I want half of your company because I'm one of the reasons, you better freaking open up your wallet and look after him.
I'm not opposed to it,
100%.
Yeah.
But big decision that us humans have, is just making the decision saying, I'm fucking starting.
The commitment.
It's commitment.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, we want to achieve things. A lot of people are talking about it, but then actually never action that idea. So once you made a decision, I'm starting my own agency.
Yeah.
Were you scared at all?
No.
What kept you moving forward?
I was so excited to fail. I knew I was going to fail miserably, but it's almost like something in my head snapped because prior to that, I had cared about what people thought about me.
Yes.
But just seeing how Gary was able to come out, not care what anyone thought, and be 100% himself, it moved me. And then I remember driving home and saying to my fiance, I'm going to download Photoshop tonight. I'm starting an agency tonight. And she's like, cool. So we had to spend our grocery money on software so I could start my agency. But to go back to your question, I wasn't scared at all. I just made the commitment. I was like, whatever happens, however difficult this is.
And you were ready for it.
I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's this funny quote I have from Jim Rohn. I can't remember if it's from one of his programs or one of his books, but he says that if you're on the altar with your wife or your spouse-to-be, and the priest says, do you take this beloved to, through sickness and through in health and all the rest of it, and you say, we'll see how it goes, that's going to be a terrible relationship. So I look at business the same way. It just through sickness and in health, I will build this agency. Same kind of mentality, a commitment, a marriage. I'm doing it. Yeah.
See, you've also walked into a very dangerous field.
Yes.
Because technology, personal branding specifically, is moving so fast.
Yeah.
The good news is if you're going to move with time, you're going to do well. But there's a lot of agencies out there that are still becoming probably more dinosaurs than anything.
Yes.
In a good way, that was probably easier for you to skyrocket with your company. But at the same time, you got to be careful yourself so you don't become a dinosaur as well. So you got to be on your toes with what's in, what's next all the time. So looking back now, 4.5 years later, you went from 0 staff. I just went through your office and you got a big office. There's a creative people all over the place. Would you do anything differently?
If I were to go back?
Correct.
I'd scale faster.
You scale faster?
Yeah. I think I was too hesitant to grow and too skeptical about what would happen. And almost like
instead of saying fuck it, let's just go hard.
Yeah, I think we could have done more had I hired faster.
Yes.
And that's the reality check I had, which was when my business took off, right? Because when I was working at Telstra and I went to Gary, I was 200 grand in debt.
Yes.
And I was calculating my odometer to work. And I was in a fear state for maybe a decade or more, a fear mentality of, I got to make ends meet. It's like a poor person's mindset or a poverty mindset. Then all of a sudden I'm making by myself 70 grand a month.
Yes.
And I'm working, really long hours.
Yes.
But there's 70 grand hitting my bank every month by myself.
Yes.
And I was so nervous to hire the first person and then the second person and then the
And
third person.
specifically when you're growing your business, you think to yourself sometimes nobody's going to care as much as I will.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I also think as business owners, a lot of business owners make mistake because even if they hire somebody, they're too controlling.
Yes.
They almost want to do the work on behalf of the person that they employ.
Yes.
I always say, my strength is employing people smarter and better than I am in their own fields.
Yeah.
Support them, but let them thrive.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so fucking talented in their own field.
Indeed.
And I can tell you this, I'm not the smartest person in my own company when it comes to everything. I know and realize where my skill is, where my strength is, and I'm fucking powering there. But hey, I'm so good at, working with people and letting them thrive. But I can understand in the same time when we are starting our own business, because we're working so hard, and you care so much, it's hard to let go sometimes.
Yeah.
How did you let go?
I just had to trust my team. Like what you said, I was probably too hands-on. I was too much of a technician, too involved in everything. And partially because the clients, because I'm a personal brand as well as an agency,
Yes.
people would hire me. And then if they were talking to someone else on my team, they would say, "Where's Dane?"
Yes.
So there was this dynamic where I was trying to let go, but the client was trying to hold on to me.
Yes.
Then we realized that we needed to re-engineer our whole system from the beginning to promote and endorse the team as a team of professionals. Because I would just say to my client, I'm not a designer. I'm not going to design your logo or your colors. I'm going to do a workshop with you. I'm the business guy.
If I design it, you might not like it, buddy.
Yeah, you don't want me to design it, man. I'll make a mess of it. So
Yes.
championing my team very early in the sales process and saying, you're working with a crew, not me. My role is to get you moving, is to get you to hit your target. Once we shifted some of that, then I trained the team. The clients were way happy to just trust the team.
Yes.
To now where I'm barely involved past the strategic setup of things. So I'll set up the strategy for a company, give that to my team, and I trust them to take care of it.
But also I think, I'm your client.
Yes.
When we were talking to yourself on start, it was never about yourself.
No.
You were representing company that you are working with, which is your own business.
Yeah.
And you were constantly talking what we will do for you.
Yeah, as a group.
As a group, not what I will do for you. And once we made that commitment to go ahead and do work with your company, you made us feel comfortable that really we didn't care who was doing what. We are in relationship with this business. The company is delivering work, and we have spoken to potentially at least 10 people from your business.
Yeah.
In our group meetings and so on. And with us, we are not fussed. Who is doing the work? The work is there.
Yeah.
But saying that you have also built that trust and made us feel comfortable. Hey guys, we're doing this for you. Just let us do it.
Yeah, and that's because we give our team a lot of freedom, and a lot of trust, and the team had a lot to say when it came to your project. So a lot of people were feeding in, and we have a rule: the best idea wins. Doesn't matter who come up with the idea. Correct. It could be someone from a different department.
You have to distance that ego from the team as well.
If a copywriter comes up with a design idea, who cares if it's not the designer that came up with the design idea? It's just the best idea wins. And I think in your case, the team were genuinely excited about the project, and you could tell that on a call. When they get on a call with you, they're excited, they're passionate.
And they made us excited to work with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because every phone call, there was energy there, which leads me to the next question as well. How important is energy within your team?
It's everything. Yeah. So my favorite quote is from Albert Einstein, and it says, "Energy is everything. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of that which you want, and you cannot help but have it." And he says, this is not science, this is physics. And sorry, this is not philosophy, this is physics. And for me, I think that when you connect with other humans, whether it's digital or even right now, we're exchanging energy. I think that it's so important that when you're with people, you give them everything you have, your passion, your intention, your creativity, your complete heart in the project. And we call it soul crafting. So we actually have a belief system here at Rival. Everything we do, we craft it with our absolute conviction, passion, and soul. So when we're presenting it to you, it's something that we've given everything into. And I think that when clients feel that energy, it's different to maybe what they've experienced at another agency.
To be honest, it's everything. There's a gentleman that He's about 75 years old now.
Yeah.
And he's done extremely well for himself. He employs a few thousand people, and his company is worth literally $10 billion. So we speak quite often. And at age 75, I always asked him a few times, what is the recipe, for healthy life, for, good relationships, for success in business? Every question that I've ever asked him all leads to, he said, Emil, it's all about the energy. But the key is keeping that energy when you're 20, when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50, when you're 60, and at 75, where he's sitting at the moment. Because his energy at age 75, he's not a salesman, but he can sell you anything. Because he will make you feel so comfortable when he's talking to you. He will pass it so much positivity towards you. He'll just do whatever he wants you to do if the work is involved. And specifically when it comes to the team, which is so crucial that we always hire people that they can fit in within the energy that we create. Because if you get one person that's negative, for example, it can actually affect that energy within your team as well, and can affect the client's result end of the day as well. Big compliment to your team as well. The energy is another level. What challenges yourself as a business owner face every day?
Personally
as a business owner,
or the team. Personally, as a business owner, I think for me, it's making sure I give enough time to my team, because the bigger the team get, the less maybe I have individual time with each person.
Yes.
And I think having a team of 5, a team of 10, 15, 20, it's been a different game.
Yes.
So it's like a new level of difficulty.
Yes.
When you play a video game and you're like, I'm going to go from hard to difficult and then difficult to hardcore God mode.
Specifically, a lot of people come to your business for you, and then they don't get to spend enough time with you.
Yeah, so that's a challenge. I think we've mitigated that really well because we introduce our team members early on, and they build a lot of rapport, and then the client can tell, wow, okay, I'm working with this really good dynamic. And they have similar energy to me. But I think my challenge has been being a father of 2, having a newborn, and then building a company, and then hiring people. It's all this growth, all this change all at once. And it's just making sure I have my cup full to give to my team. And that's probably been the biggest challenge, is keeping myself completely fired up and energized to make sure I'm serving my team to my capacity. Yeah.
What would you recommend what would you say to any new business owner? What's ahead of them?
Yeah, I think back to the commitment. You have to commit through sickness and through health, because there's going to be times, I believe, in business where it's going to be tremendously difficult and you're going to question, why am I doing this? Can I do this? If you don't have those moments, maybe you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So there's been those moments where I'm like, is this really the right thing to be doing? And then very quickly I realize, yes, it's like a roller coaster. You're going to have those ups and those downs and the loops. But my advice is, to try to find passion in every day and try to find joy in every day. And I think it depends how you start your day. So if you start your day off in negativity, it's going to spiral throughout your whole day.
Yes.
Maybe it's cliche, but I think
No.
when I wake up in the morning, I put music on, I have a coffee, which is my thing. I love caffeine. And I try to go for a walk, and I try to manifest. So I'll put on some specific tapes, and I'll try to visualize what I want my company to be in 5 years. And I do this 2 or 3 times a day, every day, and I make sure I do it in the morning. So whether I'm driving or walking, I'm thinking about the future, because that gets me excited. And I think that
you put yourself in the right mindset to go to work every day too.
Indeed, yeah. So that works for me. But I think whatever gets you excited to go to work in the morning, because when your team see you walk into work, what's your facial expression? What's your body language? Where's your energy? Are you like, hi, how you doing? Or what's up, guys? How we doing? So I just try to bring enthusiasm and passion and vision every day, no matter what, even on those hard days where maybe you don't feel like it. Yeah.
What does One Life mean to you?
One Life, your brand? What does that mean to me?
One Life in general.
I think that means to me, like, make the most. You're here once. Like, why not try to have the most fun, the most enjoyment, the most experience, the most impact that you possibly can? And I think that One Life is, for me, it's all about living a life that is 100% respecting yourself, things that you're passionate about, what you want to do, and then sharing that with others.
Love it.
Yeah.
I always say to any individual, what all of us should do, I have done it, go and speak to somebody who is 90 years old. Just speak to him for half an hour and ask him a question. Sir, how fast did life go for you?
Yeah.
And you'll be interested with the answer that people give you. Nobody's going to say, oh, it was too long. You know, it was never ending. Every person you speak to will say it's too short.
Yeah.
Went like this. You know, a question that I asked somebody else the other day, and, you know, who's a very old gentleman. He said, Emil, life is, you know, you walk through one door and then you just, next second you exit through the other door. Just like that. And I'm such a sucker for, you know, telling people that today's the day that you never lived before. Don't waste it. You know, of course, you know, there's going to be challenges, problems, issues. Solve them with, you know, clear mind. And, you know, even if you have issues, you know, enjoy solving them because, hey, this day gone, we are one day closer to our ultimate destination, which is us being fucking 10 feet under. So hold on to it. And what does never give up mean to you?
It means never give up. Yeah, I think I have this tenacious spirit to me because when I grew up as a child, not to go too deep into my past, but let's just say a lot of abuse in the household, a lot of dark times, in and out of foster care, things of that nature. So I think as a child,
So you had a hard life.
I had a hard life and I have a thick skin. And then I think that...
But you wouldn't have a thick skin if you didn't have a hard life. Would you agree?
Yeah, I look at myself kind of like a rhinoceros. You can shoot arrows at me.
Yes.
It'll just bounce off me because my skin's thick. You can't get to me. So never give up. I don't know how to explain it, but I just got this this component in me that I just have to keep going. I don't know if it's a competitive nature. Yes. I don't know if I was born with it or if I grabbed it when I was a young boy, but never give up means like find a new way, find an obstacle, find a new route, break through boundaries, push through walls, challenge yourself, challenge those around you and try to see what else you could do. Because there's been times in my business where even my team are like, that's not possible.
Yes, yes.
And I would just say, if we did, how would we do it? Oh, it's not possible. Okay, but if we had to do it, how would we do it? Well, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that, maybe we could do this and everything else. So like even with One Life Club, I said to my team, we'll get a week and a half to do this. And they said, we've never done that in that much time. And I said, if you had to do it, how would you do it? And they said, it's not possible. And I said, if we had to do it, how would we do it? And one of my team members got the whiteboard, I think it was Emma, and she just started mind mapping it. She's like, we'll move this project here and this person here, and then we have to do a couple extra over hours and weekdays and, you know, work public holidays and so on.
You made it happen.
We made it happen because
because
of one question,
that,
if you had to, how would you do it?
Correct. And also when we started establishing that relationship,
Yeah.
you knew that timing is very crucial for us.
Yeah.
You know, and by doing it, you know, conversation we had outside was like, Dan, this is, you know, I got 5 other companies, you know,
Yes.
work is yours.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even ask you how much it is. I said, work is yours. Why? Because how you have delivered as well. You know, end of the day, I always say to people, results speak louder than words. You know, if you can back up, you know, your work with good results, you can go far.
And that's really important to me because I knew I was promising a lot to you and your team.
Yes.
But I knew these guys could deliver. And I think that...
and they did deliver.
And they delivered. And they did
which
wonderful.
is
And they
crazy,
blew me away.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
First concept you guys gave us, we were like, fucking love it.
Yeah. Sign it in.
Signed it, go,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, which is very rare as well, because sometimes, you know, you can say, oh, you know what, it's good, but let's change it, and you know what I mean? So you guys have nailed it.
Thank you.
I'm looking, you know, we definitely look forward to working with you guys as well. I'm definitely looking forward to now asking you many questions about personal branding, because I'm so passionate about it as well. But this was a casual chat for people to know who Dane is, and it's been a pleasure knowing you now. We are looking forward to working with you a lot more in the future. I feel like most interviews that I have are a little bit different from yours, and I'll tell you why. I'm interviewing people that have so much to offer to the world, and I love that they can pass their knowledge to others. With you is the same, but the reason why it's different because I feel like I'm interviewing my business partner because we are partners in business.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, you know, credibility is just crazy, insane because I know the good things that you do for us, and we are also very grateful everything you guys have done for us, and look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you. And you guys have been incredibly respectful and courteous to my team as well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Legend.
man. Appreciate it.